Hello students, hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss one more topic of data structure, that is double-ended queue. It is also called Deque, okay, D-E-Q-U-E, okay. And this video will be useful for the students of class 12 who have opted computer science in ICC board. And in this video, I am going to discuss the program of double-ended queue as per the pattern of board examination only, okay. So without wasting your and my time, here we go with this new topic, that is what? Double-ended queue. Here the definition is in front of you, you can see. So here a Deque or double-ended queue is a data structure that allows us to add means to perform push operation, and remove means to perform pop operation from both ends, means from front as well as from rear. Okay, means if you remember the concept of queue, let me remind you the concept of queue. In case of queue, we can the push operation can be performed at rear only, and pop operation can be performed at front only. It was the restriction with the queue. But in case of Deque, it is not DQ actually. The actual pronunciation is Deque. Please remember that. In case of Deque, we can perform both operations, means push and pop, both operation we can perform both ends. Means we can perform push operation at front and rear. We can perform pop operation at front and rear. So this is the difference between queue and Deque. Okay. Here we can perform push operation at front and rear. दोनों end पे हम perform कर सकते हैं. Like that, we can perform pop operation also at both ends, at front and at rear. Okay. So this is the difference between Q and DQ. Here we can perform both operation at both ends. There is no restriction. So coming to the so here we have how many? Now, so here we have 4 operations on Deque. Push operation at front and rear, two functions, and now 2 more operation, pop operation at front and rear. So here we have 4 operations which we are going to perform on a Deque: push at front and rear, pop at front and rear. Okay. So 4 operations we have. So consider that, as you know, we implement the concept of any data structure. Here we are implementing using array. So here first of all, I'm taking one array. Okay. Consider the elements, the size of array I'm taking as 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, initially in the program which you'll get, I will show you the program also. Initially, you will get the value of front and rear at 0. Initially, the value of front and rear both will be what? 0. Okay. Now, first I'm going to perform, we are going to tell you about a push operation at rear. I'm going to tell you push operation at rear. So before explaining these operations, let me clear one basic concept. Please remember that. Whenever we consider a queue is there, and if you are pushing an element, at rear, because this is the front and this is the rear, and if you are pushing an element to the rear will move. Means now if you are pushing one element, consider this element, extra another new element you are adding to this queue. So what will happen? Now rear will move to this, rear will move this side. So moving this side means the value of rear will increase. In case of push rear, if you are pushing a value at rear, the value of rear will increase. It will move this side. Okay. And like that, if you are pushing, if you are removing the value from the rear, consider the rear is here. Okay. And if you are removing the value from the rear, means you are performing pop rear. So the value of rear, if it is removed, consider this is removed, so the rear will move to this point, means rear will move to this side. Means in case of, if you are removing value from rear, the value of rear will decrease. It happens. Okay. So this is the concept. In case if you are pushing a value at rear, the value of rear will increase, and if you are popping from rear, the value of rear will decrease. Same thing for the front. I'm telling you, if you are pushing a value at front, push front. If you are pushing a value at front, what will happen? if I consider this is the front, okay, and rear is here, consider this is the condition, front is here, rear is here, and if you're pushing a value, if you want to push a value at front, means front will be here. So the value of front will move to this side, means pushing at front will move this front this side, means moving this side means decrement, means the value of front will decrease if you're pushing a value, okay. And if you're removing from front, consider the front is this, consider this is the value of front is here, and if you're removing from the front will move, consider this element you have removed, so front will move to this, means front is moving this side. So moving this side means increment, the index, you can see index is increasing this side and this side decreasing. So if you're removing from the front, the value of front will move, means pop front, in case of pop front, the value of f will increase. Please remember this basic concept, most of the things will be clear. So I'm going to perform, please remember this, okay. So first I'm going to perform that push rear operation, okay. Initially the value of front and rear will be 0, it will be given in the question, the front index and rear index initially will be 0, okay. Consider I'm going to push element at rear index, consider I'm pushing 15. So initially the value of rear is what? The value of rear is 0. So the value 15 will be stored at index number 0, means 15 will be stored here, okay. Then, just a minute. Okay, so this 15 will be stored at index number 0. So when we'll push a value at this index, now rear will move to the next index. Rear must move to the next, must move to this index. So the value of rear will be 1, means rear is now here. Okay, as I told, when we push a value at rear, the value of rear will increase. Okay, now again I'm pushing another value, consider I'm pushing another value, push rear, and 20. This 20 will go to index number, where are we pushing? We are pushing the value at rear. What is the value of rear? It is 1. So this 20 will be stored at index number 1, and the rear will move to this index, means it will become what now? 2. Now consider we are pushing another element, push rear, and we're pushing what? 30. This 30 will go to index number rear. What is the value of rear? It is 2. The value of rear is what? 2. So it will go to index number 2, 30. And rear will move to the next index, means now the value of rear will be what? 3. The value of rear will be 3. Now if I'm pushing a value, push rear, and we're consider we are pushing storing 50. That 50 will go to index number rear index, that is 3 this time. So this 50 will be stored at 3, and the rear will move to the next index, means 4. Means we are pushing a value at rear index, then we are moving the rear index to next index. Okay. Now we have stored. Now consider we are going to insert the 5th element, push rear, and we are storing 80. This 80 will go to rear index. What is the value of index? Rear is 4. So this 80 will be stored here, and now the value of rear will become 5. Means rear will move here. No such 5 index number 5 is not here. Now rear is here. Further, if you want, now you can see the queue is full. This deck is full. There is no space left to push another element. So what will happen? So this is the condition of overflow. In case of push operation, we think about the overflow condition. The condition of overflow is what? What is the value of R? The value of R is 5, which is equal to size of the array. What is the size of this array? It is 5. So when the value of rear is equal to what? Size of the array, it means this is the condition of overflow. We cannot store further value in the array. Okay. So this operation we have performed. So this is the condition of overflow. Otherwise, if row index is not equal to size, what are we doing? What we have done? We are storing the value at rear. We are storing the value at rear. Then we are increasing the value of rear. After storing, we are increasing the value of rear. Okay. So the condition of overflow is what? When the value of rear is equal to size. So this I am going to show you in the programming, in the function push rear operation. I am going to tell you, which I have explained. I am going to show you through the program, which type of program will get. Here it is. See this question I have taken. from previous year question paper. Okay, now look at here. In this question, please remember there will be 4 functions. Okay, there will be 4 functions. One function for push front, another for pop front, then push rear and pop rear. 4 functions will be there. Out of 4 functions, you have to write only 2. That will be mentioned which 2 functions you need to define. That will be given only 2 functions. Any out of these 4, any 2 function you may have to write in the examination. It will be mentioned in the question which 2 functions are required to write. Here you can see it is said details of the functions void push front and pop rear. So here it is said to define only these 2 functions, but in this video I will explain all four functions, and but in examination you need to write only 2, and please find out which 2 functions you supposed to write in the examination. Read the description at last. Okay, so here I will explain all 4. So what I am discussing, what I have discussed this function push rear. This function I have discussed. See, I am showing you here the class name is recycle, class name will write, and as per as I told in the previous video of Q also, there is no need to define declare this data member. There is no need to define this constructor and any other function. Assume that the other functions have been defined. The main function and algorithm need not to be written. ये सारी चीजें लिखनी नहीं, सिर्फ हमें ये वही 2 फंक्शन लिखने हैं जो मेंशन्ड है. We need to write only those 2 functions which are mentioned to write, nothing else. So only these 2 functions as per this question. But here I am going to tell you all 4. So remember that. So here class name is recycle. The array name is ELE, element for element they have taken the array. A cap is here for the size of the array, maximum capacity of the array, front index, rear index. Okay. Now this function I have explained. This I am going to tell you. Push rear means you are performing push operation at rear. Let me show you this function. Push rear. Okay. And this V is the value which we are going to insert into the Deque, into the queue. So as I have shown, when the value of rear will become equal to the size of the array, this is the condition of overflow in case of push rear operation. Okay, so that is here. When rear is equal to cap, in this question, the variable for size of the array is what? Cap. It is given in the question. Variable for size of the array is what? It is cap. Cap is stores the maximum capacity of the array, that is size of the array. So that variable name you have to take, right? Be careful about this. Okay, the push rear operation. So this condition is of overflow as I told. So if it is overflow, what is the message? See in the question it is given the message. It is given full from rear. To add integers from the index, from the rear index if possible, otherwise display the message full from rear. Okay, so this condition is of overflow. So here it is set to display the message full from rear that we are displaying. Okay, otherwise what we have done otherwise we have pushed the value, we have stored the value at index number r index row rear index, then we have increased the value of rear. ये कर रहे थे ना हम rear index पे value store करके उसके बाद rear की value बढ़ा दे रहे थे. This we were doing, we were storing the value at rear index and then we were increasing the value of rear. So that same thing I am doing here. First the value of v, whatever the value we are going to insert, will be stored at rear index, and then the value of rear will increase by 1. Okay, so I hope this push rear operation with function is clear to everyone. If the rear is equal to cap, means if the value of rear is equal to size of the array, it means this is the condition of overflow from rear. Okay, otherwise we are storing the value at rear and then we are increasing the value of rear. We are storing the value at rear index and then we are increasing the value of rear. So this is for push rear operation in double-ended queue. Okay, now I'm going to explain the pop rear, index from pop rear. Okay, so let's go for the pop rear. We are going to perform pop operation from the rear index. In this array, after storing these elements, the condition is what? The front is 0 and rear is what? 5. The value of rear is what? 5. Now look at here. The value of rear is 5. Now we are going to perform pop operation. So pop rear, pop operation from where? From rear index. So here the value of rear is 5 and consider we are going to perform pop operation first time. So it will return the value from index number rear. So what is the value of rear this time? It is 5. There is no such index in the array. 5 index is not here. Okay. So what can be done? We have to decrease the value of rear first. Okay. So we will increase the value of rear because index number 5 is not existing. We have to decrease the value of rear. Means first we'll decrease the value of rear. Then we will store the value at rear index. Means here I'm writing the value of rear r equal to 5. First we have to make it, we have to decrease it, means we have to make it 4. Then at index number, then this function will return the value from index number 4. So we have returned this value. Okay. Now we are going to perform again, consider we are going to perform pop rear. Okay, we are performing pop rear function again. So what will happen? First we have to decrease the value of rear, and then we'll return, means 4 will become 3, and then we'll return the value from index number 3. And like that, again we are performing pop rear. So what we'll do, again we'll decrease the value of rear. First we'll decrease the value of rear, and then we'll return the value from index number 2. Okay. Now again we are performing pop rear. So what will happen? First we'll decrease the value of rear. It will become 1, and then we'll return the value from index number 1. Now we are going to perform pop rear again, 5th time. So again we'll decrease the value of rear. It will become 0, and then we'll return the value from index number 0. Okay. Now you can see we have returned all the values from that queue. There is no element left to return. So the condition is what? This is the condition of empty. Further, if you try to pop a value from this queue, there is no element left. This is empty. This is the condition of underflow has reached. So what is this condition when it is happening? When the value of rear is equal to front. Please remember that in case of pop rear or pop front, दोनों में, pop from rear, pop from front, in both the cases, the condition of empty is what? Front equal to rear. जब भी front की वैल्यू rear के equal होगी, इसका मतलब Q empty है. Okay. Now pop rear, front rear. Okay. So this is a condition of front. Okay. Sorry, a condition of underflow. So let me show you in the question in the program. Here it is. Pop rear. See the condition of front and rear. When the front equal to rear, it means this is the condition of underflow. So now it is not possible to return, it is not possible to pop any value from the array, from the queue. So here it is to remove and return elements from the rear. Okay, remove and return element from the rear. If the array is empty, then return -999. Means when the array is empty, what is the condition of array is empty? When front equal to rear index. So when front equal to rear index, it is set to return -9999. So that we are returning. Otherwise, what we have to do? We have to store the value at index number rear. Now we'll return the value from index number rear, and then it will be minus. First we have to decrease the value of rear. Sorry, this wrong thing I've written. I'm correcting it. Just a minute. Yes, here minus rear. Okay, sorry. My mistake, I've done this. Minus. First we'll decrease the value of rear. If you remember, it was 5, we have made it 4. पहले हमने rear की वैल्यू घटाई है, घटाने के बाद उसमें वैल्यू वहाँ की वैल्यू रिटर्न की है. तो here first we decrease the value of rear, then we'll return the value from that rear index. At last, if you remember, the value of rear was 5. We have made it 4, then we have returned. Means पहले हमने rear की वैल्यू घटाई है, तब रिटर्न किया. First we have decreased the value of rear, and then we are returning the value at that rear index. So this is the function of pop rear. Okay. So in this video, what I have done, I have explained about push operation and pop operation from rear end. Okay. And for this video, this much only. In the next video, I will come with the next two operations, that is push operation and pop operation from front. Okay. So for this video, this much only. Thank you for watching.